So we now go back to Judy. So Merle, you want to introduce our new topic with Judy?
Sure. Yeah, we're going to jump over to the second part of our program. We are going to feature the economic aspect. Financial aspect is 50% of our happiness. So let
More or less.
us ask Miss Judy, how is the economic prognosis of the women out there who are in the villages who are struggling to make ends meet in this time, and what they are doing right now to overcome these difficult times financially?
Okay, the next one is really serendipity.
Uh-huh.
I love that word, serendipity.
Something that I really am very thankful for, no? And the opportunity that was given to me and to the women weavers of Samar also is really great. Okay, I really love native bags. So every time I travel, every time I travel, I always use the handcrafted bags. So when I go to Europe, when I go to the US or to other Asian countries, I always bring with me my handcrafted bags. And in all my travels, people have always been appreciative of the bags that I use. An example is this. Oh, you see this?
Oh my gosh.
This is hand
Wow.
by
Is
the
that
women.
Frida Kahlo?
I was in New York. First week of February. So I was in New York first
Yeah,
February.
we met.
I met up with Marivir and Tiray. In all my travels, even in New York, I was bringing my other bag, and people were always staring at my bags in appreciation. No? So it was in during the last week of February that I placed orders for my bag. So wala lang yung kilingaw, no? Nag-post lang yun ko, anak. And then suddenly, people were already buying. And lo and behold, I was able to sell more than 200 bags na today. So my market for now is solely in the Philippines. Because this one, we were really, our family was really, we are able to continually assist the women weavers in Samar. So previously, Marivir, no, you already knew this. I worked with a group of weavers. Karon, I'm already working with 2 groups of weavers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And since I need to work with 2 groups because we need to expedite the production because of so many orders. Incidentally,
So that's very good.
also featured our bags. No, somebody called me up. I thought magmupalit o unsa to whatever. So go, Jimmy, so why are you calling? So they would like to feature the Manang Juday. No, that's the brand Manang Juday, because they saw that the designs are unique. So our brand is about the faces of women. So right now, with our second group, that one. See, it's so
So
lovely.
pretty. So happy colors, Judy.
Yeah, happy colors. So right now, I'm also working with a graphic artist. She used to be my student in the graduate school sa University of San Carlos, sa anthropology. She designed she was able to design 5 new faces, and it's going to be out next week. Okay, so I already approved 2 samples. I posted this on my page, Manang Juday sa FB, and my goal is really bags for everyone. I want to see women parading maski sa palengke, maski asa magdala sa Manang Juday na bag, because
Okay.
the women weavers in Samar. Imagine, they were not able to export the bags. They did not have clients because of the ECQ. So what I did, it's also a good thing that even if there were delays, so until now there are still delays in terms of shipping, LBC, I've worked well with, I've established a relationship with LBC, so it's really cash on pickup. Now that it's, there already, majority of the areas are on general quarantine, so they, LBC can now deliver in their houses, so they don't have to go out. So who would have thought na mamalit ang mga tao bags so nga nag-quarantine makana. But it's really nice because the colors are the bags are bursting with colors. So happy colors, good. So when they receive the bags, they're really very appreciative kay, you know, despite all the gloom associated with the quarantine, malipad yun sila makadawat sila sa bag kay guwapan, so
So
colorful.
nice.
Oh, nag-aligri, nindot ba ka ng aligri, makalift sa
It's
spirits.
very elegant.
What's really
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
important
I
are
want
But
one.
numbers.
can you
Oh,
send to the US, Judy? Or
I
no,
want one,
not yet?
Judy.
yeah, I really would love to. Pero dapat in bulk kay like ang
Oh.
DHL would charge ang shipping is like for example mga 11 to 15 bags, that's going to cost ang shipping lang is 13,000. So hopefully after the GCQ everyone can report for work na. So kana and then kaning gid nagtuog gyud ko ani kanang ganing blessings because just work for just pay. Ana gid di gyud ko mohangyo. Di ko mohangyo masig usa or 100 ka bags sa akong order. Kung unsa ang price mo gyud na ang price nga akong bayaran sa ilahan, I pay them in full kay supposedly ilang arrangement down payment man ka 50% and then upon delivery 100 you pay the rest of the amount no so 50%. So ako gid sila ginay nga I'll pay you in full. I'll pay you in full once I approve the design. I'll pay everything in full kay para na gyud food on the table kay wa sila lang gyud income. So nalipay gyud ko kay it's really serendipity nga sa akong pagkakikay kay kuan man ko kikay Juday man ko akong kikay nakatabang gid ko sa women in the communities tapos at the same time nag-enjoy ko sa business no akong passion sa teaching na sa kumon sa akong pagkakikay na fulfill po ni sa usa namo nga kuan nga venture ang kanang sama ng Juday nga mga hand woven unya kani di ay ang ibi nila painted ni dili ni painted hand woven yun tanan bags are all hand woven no so handcrafted yun so ang usa ka bag will take 2 to 3 days. So kung gina is labor of love, ang creativity, and then kanimang gud ang ilang kuan, ang ilang himo sa material. This has been passed on from one generation to another. No, even during the Spanish time, naghimo na ni sila ingon ani, pero mga banig na kasagaran ng ilaha. Traditionally,
yes.
Judy, I have a question. Can I ask a question, Judy? Can we have our faces on that bag? We have our faces there.
Pwede na nga ikuan. Pwede na siya i-customize.
Photocopy.
Customize kay na overwhelmed pa ko sa mga orders and then ang ato mga women nga weavers kulang pa not everyone kay naamod sila nga kanang lagyo gani gyud kay nga barangay. Unya ang public transportation kay limited pa man ang public transportation so tapos I also make sure nga efficient put ang service kana ano mo important gyud nga when you do business also you have to be responsive and then you have to be ethical also in your business so kana gyud nga dala-dala gyud na ni when they receive
Miss
this
Judy
yes
how many women do you have for that?
Depende ka lang for example na may uban nga duha ra mo report unya na uban nga 7 ang mo report kay
So do you have younger generation? Do you have a younger generation working on the same line?
Mga 30s na sila 30 usually ang age range 30 to like 60 plus 30 to 60 plus
I'm just wondering ba if the skill can be passed on to the next generation and this is so timely that people are maybe they can work on some skills and I'm just imagining and just trying to imagine and you can explore on a lots of products right aside from bags.
No bags manggid ko kay I want it to be focused tapos ang bag ko na ko kinahanglan faces ra gyud na kay para there is kanang sa branding gani like
there's
sa branding,
distinction
yeah you are different from the rest tapos you are unique and then there is you create that demand for bags na mga faces next week naana mi backpacks pero faces gyud gihapon backpacks.
That's so good, Judy. And you know,
big bags for grocery.
2,000 pesos. That's pila na ka dollar.
That's very reasonable. That's reasonable.
yeah,
Very pretty.
backpacks would be good too for young children or young ladies.
Okay, bukat kaya akong bag. Kay murag ang tibok balay na ko nana din.
And you know, tikog, a natural indigenous material, is strong, known for its being sturdy, right, Judy? So and it's locally grown, so it enhances the environment as well and improves the economic situation of the women and you, the entrepreneur. So everybody's going up.
field, no, nasa kilid, pwede rin ang tikog. It's really a grass. It's a grass
Mm-hmm.
na na-maximize good nila. And it's dyed. Ang grass, ilan ang gina-dye. And then, mao
Mm-hmm.
ginagamito nila. Magkuhan na sila, mag-weave na sila sa mga bags. Kana siya.
So I understand that, like,
Are there
I
people
asked.
growing tikog? Ay, sorry.
Oo,
Are there
dagana.
people
Go
growing
ahead.
tikog in your
Summer
place?
and Leyte. Summer and Leyte na sila. Summer and Leyte. Ang rice fields nila, ang kilid ana mga tikog ng ilang kuan, ng ilang tanom.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Wonderful. So our time is up, and we're already doing overtime. We can talk to Judy the whole night. I know Judy, and
Right.
she's so
Thank you. I mean, that's
interesting
really
and
beautiful.
exciting
Thank you so much.
to talk to, and very inspiring. Judy, thank you for your time, and all the best to your
Marivir,
business and to the family.
thank you.
Hello again, everyone. Wow, that was such an amazing, inspiring presentation from Miss Juday, Manang Juday, Miss Judy. The bags, they are so beautiful. I mean, I would like to carry that bag anywhere, whether it's winter in here in America. I don't care. It is so beautiful. And the cool thing about it is, it's so affordable and it is giving livelihood to the women in her area. And also it makes us feel good because it's promoting the the beauty of women, right, Dr. Hernando? What do you think about the bags?
Yeah, they are really very beautiful, as beautiful as the brainchild of that activity. I've got lots of thoughts benchmarking on that presentation of Judy. Like I came to think about something more. I even told her, like, why can't we make some table runners probably, or something like for that, like blinds. They are really beautiful. But of course, not all women can settle for bags. So they can still look for more products. Thus, I am thinking of something more for the women that we can offer, that somebody came to my mind and that we will be introducing him in a short while. So are you now ready, Miss Merle?
Yes, I am. I am so ready. I look forward to this another exciting presentation about other economic opportunities in the time during pandemic and post pandemic. So there are our world is evolving, right? So
Yeah.
lifestyles has changed so much, and I think in the world of in the way how people do business, it will change so much. And so let us check
That's
out
why.
what are other opportunities we have out there. So you have this Fab Lab. Last time when I
Yes.
went to BISU, I was introduced by Dr. Maganti about he was raving about the first in the Philippines, a Fab Lab, more like a 3D printing machine. So I'm very interested, and let's see how our women and the womenkind and the women in the homes and all women out there can take this opportunity and grab this opportunity to take advantage of what we have in terms of new technologies.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you the very young, energetic, and Superman manager of
Superman.
FabLab. We have Mr.
Mhm.
Jerome Manata. Yes. And he is now in the Super
Hi.
Women channel. And he will be telling us on what more women can do and how can FabLab be of help to this women, especially in this time of pandemic. And maybe perhaps Jerome is going to tell us the first FabLab in the Philippines. And probably Jerome is going to tell us a little of what is FabLab all about. So take it away, Mr. Jerome. And thank you for having us here in your beautiful place.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
Hi, Jerome. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. So I'm here in Pablo, Bohol. So Pablo, by the way, is like from the word fabrication laboratory. So it's a place where
Mm.
you can make almost anything. So it started in Boston and MIT. So the purpose of having Fab Lab is to empower people. Or actually, this is a consortium brand for local empowerment, where we try to invite people to do DIY things, to use the state of the art facilities at this time. Since we are in the 21st century, and then we need this 21st century skills, to our young, to our women, to everyone who wish to do it, to do things possible. So this is like a maker space. So this is not a shop where you ask things to be done, but this is a place where you can learn how to create things possible. So, for example, from innovations, creations, product development, designs, or even engineering things like making some robotic things or like programming things. So, yeah, so these facilities will allow people to put their ideas or imaginations into a product, or like building their floating ideas into possibilities, like creating mock-ups, prototypes, and even doing some small businesses to help their lives. Yeah.
Wow. This is new to me. This is really exciting. I want to get my head around it first. Okay, could you walk us through, like, for example, I have an idea, a coffee maker,
Yeah.
a design like a portable coffee maker, and so how do we produce that? How do I get hold of that coffee maker and reproduce it and market it from, let's say, from my mind, from concept to printing it 3D, producing it using your technology in the fab lab, and then in terms of marketing it, and how available is it for everyone, and how the women can take advantage of this new technology. I'm
Okay.
excited.
Yes. Okay. So, for example, if you are like, because we call all of our users a maker, so each of us are makers. So this is the working flow. Like, if you have this idea, if you have this in mind, first is like we are going to talk what's that project all about, and then we start to develop, or like we start to do it into a drawing. For example, we will teach you on how to draw your speech or your imaginations or ideas from 2D design or 3D model, and then we will be
Mm-hmm.
introducing the facilities that could help you to make that idea possible, and that we have, and then we will be assisting you through the product development. So by the end of maybe how many weeks or months that we are doing digital fabrication inside the lab, you can learn the machine, you can learn how to do the design, you can learn a lot of things. And then we are actually implementing that kind of or that scenario because we really want to encourage people to do it by themselves. We want to tell people that this is in need at the moment, because for example, let's say at this time of pandemic, imagine if you cannot buy things outside because stores are closing. You cannot have this a repair shop because you cannot it's they're closed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
imagine
Mm-hmm.
if there's a fab lab where they can replace things that is broken. Like for example, if you broke something from, for example, let's say I have this spray thing. So for example,
Mm-hmm.
if you cannot find this part, maybe you could just 3D print, right? So you don't have to worry where to buy these things, or you don't have to go for online sale outside Bohol or outside your place, because it's not possible at the moment because career are stopping, they are the operation is anymore. So imagine if there's a lab or there's like a place where you can build that by yourself. So it's a big impact to everyone who wish to create their ideas or to replace things into a product or possible products. So I guess, so in terms of women, so actually there's a lot of things that they can do. So at this time, before, we're doing a lot of workshop for women where we conduct various of events. We teach them how to create livelihood, and even helping our micro, small, and medium enterprises. It is very possible that you can build small businesses or like micro businesses through digital fabrication machines, like through the use of FabLab, to help them to develop or to create their imaginations through into a prototype of our product. And then when we finish the product development, and that time we need to work with maybe production, maybe somewhere, or maybe inside. If it's like small production, we can do it in the lab. But if it's for mass production, we can help you or we can assist you. For example, in Bohol, which particular firm that are capable of doing that
Mm-hmm.
for mass production.
I see. This is so fascinating. Welcome to the world of the 21st century, right? 50 years ago, it will be just it's just kind of a dream, you know. Um, this is really the realization of what my favorite quote, which is in the Book of Secret: if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So in this case, in the Fab Lab, you just have to, you know, you are an inventor, you are an artist because you are taught how to draw, you know, do it yourself, and then you can become the producer of your own imagination. This is so cool. Um, why don't you walk us through? You know, like 3D printing for me as a secretary
Okay.
for the longest time, when you talk about printing, I can only imagine, you know, like a Xerox copy machine with a paper. That's it. But 3D printing is a whole new world for me. So are you able to walk us through
Yeah, sure.
your
So
lab, please?
I'm gonna show you the facilities of FabLab. So I'm gonna just pick camera.
Okay.
So turn it.
This is
Okay.
exciting.
Okay. So here, so
From
FabLab
step
Hall.
one, right? It's like
So, okay.
from
Yes.
imagination
Yeah.
to
So you start the door.
yeah.
So this is FabLab Hall. So this is the first Fab in the Philippines. So by the way, FabLab Hall is a social brand for local empowerment. This is a collaboration program between the Department of Trade and Industry, or
Mm-hmm.
DTI, Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, Japan International Recruiting Agency, or JICA, and then the Bohol Island State University. We have state-of-art facilities. So we start with our digital embroidery machine. So this
Mm-hmm.
digital embroidery machine allow us to fabricate or to manipulate with different kinds of fabric. This is like an embroidery machine that allow
Okay.
us to manipulate with different kinds of fabric, where you can transfer your ideas or imaginations into your LP. Your design will be embroidered into that raffia fiber, and this could be a new business idea. Like you're going to work with fashion artists, you're going to work or creating your own pouch or bags, or even like building, or like trying to embroidered logo design on different kinds of fabric. So the good thing of having this facility is like you can actually build the small version or the prototype of it before doing the actual size. What we're going to do is, of course, you have this idea, and then all you need to do is to print with this one, and then you can actually select different kinds of colors of thread, and then yeah, you can actually create anything that you want in terms of working with fabric. Do we have questions before I proceed to the next machine? None?
Um, yeah. In terms of okay, for example, I have the idea already, the design and everything, and then print it there. So I got one sample, like a prototype, right? And then if I want to mass
Yes,
produce
correct.
it, um, and then I let's say I
Mm-mm.
have a community of women in my hometown, and I want to mass produce it. Where do I go? What do I do?
So, so actually, the good thing here in Bohol is that there's a lot of local firms already that are buying their own facilities after we opened last 2014. We can introduce to you, for example, if you wish to work with embroidery machine, you can just go to Roy Bayonas, which is the print bit where they are capable of doing mass production. So the next machines that we have is a small CNC milling machine. So this is a Roland EX40A. So this small milling machine allow us to create products in a small version. So for example, if you're working with electronics, so you can actually work with PCB. So this is a PCB design where this PCB design, it will be for a mother circuit or motherboard for your product design. Like for example, if you wish to create, yeah, let's start. So if you want to create this stereo speaker, So for example, this is like DIY stereo speaker. So at in the back, no, so this is the motherboard. So this is circuit. So this is the microcontroller chips that is been done by this machine. So machine allow us to engrave into 2D and 3D model. So for example, let's say working with parts of the machines, or like doing some 2D design, working with different kind of materials. This is like chemical wood, hardwood, softwood, PCB, circuit board, acrylic plastics, and so on. So normally this machine allow us to create small, detailed versions of some prototypes, or some complicated designs, like building more detailed, or like creating circuit boards for robotics and so on. So
Mm-hmm.
this thing allow us to do the PCB design for electronics. Yeah. So the next machine that we have is 3D printer. So we have here first 3D printer. This is a Bonsai Lab 3D printer. This is an all-time maker 3D printer. And then this is a BFB 3D printer. So all of those 3D printers allow us to 3D print any 3D model, which means, like, for example, if something is missing into your part of your, let's say, a watch, so you lose some parts of it, you don't have to worry, because all you need to do is you're going to 3D model, going to develop the 3D model through different kinds of 3D softwares, and then all you need to do is to render, and then to put it in the flash drive, put it here, and then play with the button, and then by the end of the day, you have already the part of the, let's say, a machine. For example, creating your own screw for the machine or that part, or like for example, like if you wish to do business with 3D printer. So for example, let's say I have here this one. So I 3D printed this kind of form, this like shell, like a Bohol shell, whatever. And then I
Mm-hmm.
want to create a cookies, a molder of a cookies, or a molder of a sabon, or like even doing some tablia or whatever, anything you wish. So you can just 3D print the model of it, and then you are going to create the through making silicon. So this vacuum former, this is like creating molder in an instant. So for example, we 3D printed this part. All we need to do is to put it here. We use plastic, and then we press with the machine. And then
Mm-hmm.
after how many minutes, you can actually create a molder. So for example, let's say this one. So it will be like packaging a molder, where you can, for example, let's say you put your ingredients here, like cookies, and then when you remove it, you have already this kind of shape or
Okay.
design, right? So
Okay.
you can work with tablia, you can work with chocolates, pancakes, or everything. So there's a lot of possibility with 3D printers and vacuum form. So in an instant. Okay, the next machine we have here, the laser cutter. So this is a laser cutter. So this laser cutter allow us to create 2D design and 3D model. So for example, let's say if you wish to, cut into 2D, so this one cut into 2D and transform to 3D model, as you can see. So for example, if you're trying to build a house, let's say a building. So before, this is like a prototype, maybe a 1:100 in
Mm-hmm.
scale. So this is very small prototype. So also you can work with a small version, like for example, as you mentioned a while ago about building furniture. So before you proceed with building the actual furniture, maybe you need to build a small version, like for example, this chair. So this is a very small chair. It's collapsible and so on. So it's the prototype of the chair before proceeding with the actual size. It can also work, for example, for, I know that a lot of girls really love this thing, the paper
Mm-hmm.
cutting.
Those are
So this is like
cards.
creating your creating your own invitation cards for a wedding, or like building more unique or authentic designs. Not you cannot find this in the market, but you can actually build it by yourself. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of things, like
Mm-hmm.
those things, like so many things. There's a lot of possibilities. So again, this machine allow us to engrave and cut objects, and then turn them into a product or anything that you want. So it produces carbon laser, by the way, to engrave and cut objects. So a laser cutter can do a lot of things, like a lot,
This
a lot, a
is
lot.
amazing. This is really exciting how technology has advanced so much. Let me ask you, are these facility, that Fab Lab, can it produce robots?
Actually, we build some robotics, or I mean, say small robots here in Pablo Bohol using indigenous materials. So what we are going to do, if you wish to build that one, is like we are going to to work with, like for example, if you want to work with electronics parts, you work with a small CNC milling machine, where you are going to create or do the PCB design. You program this maybe with Arduino, with Raspberry Pi, or any kind of softwares inside the lab, because we also have those softwares. And then, for example, you are aiming to create that part. Let's say you are going to create a robot, form of a tarsier and a robot of a toy robot.
I want a cleaning robot or a robot that can iron or laundry.
Y- yeah, yes, actually it is possible in a space or in the lab. So what we need at the moment is like maybe experts or like doing very complicated steps, or like creating the program of that kind of robot.
I have one question. During the pandemic, I mean, yeah, we're
Okay.
still in pandemic lockdown. I
Mm-mm.
mean,
Mm-mm.
I heard that the Fab Lab produced some PPEs. Uh, were there some
Yes,
PPEs
we started
produced
like
there?
yes. So after Bohol was declared as there's a community quarantine. So what we've done is like we take an initiative with the entire Fab Labs in the Philippines. So the first project that we've done is like we created this face shield. So I'm gonna show you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
So
could use one of
here, so
that.
of course. So this one. So this is a face shields. Okay, sorry. So this one. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
you can see. So
Right.
it's clear
Yes.
acrylic plastic. So this one is cut by our laser cutter. So I mentioned a while ago. So it was cut by laser cutter, and then tara ko namin. Then also we also created a face mask for the so you can see this one. So face mask, you can just add filter on it, like even like buckles for your mask to avoid pain or like from the loop. So you
Mm.
put it at the back with your mask. So we also created swab booth. So maybe it's outside. So I'm gonna show you. Okay, here. So this one.
Okay.
Yes.
COVID-19 swab booth.
Yeah, so we made a lot of things during this time, and still we're working with creating more swab booth. It's quite expensive, but we're happy with the community that we have here, because most of the people here in the province are supporting us. They donate lots of materials and resources to make it possible. So last March, I guess if I'm not wrong, we already accomplished to provide face shields to the entire province, which means we provided face shields for free to rural health units for the entire province of Bohol, and at the same time with all the hospitals in the province. So a total of 4,000 plus face shields that we develop in the lab, and then we just give it to the to those to our beneficiaries for free, because of our partners and same time to the donors that we have in the province. Yeah.
Wow,
So
that is so amazing how technology can really help us and help the community, especially during this difficult time. PPEs, that's a wonder, you know. We can actually
yes.
produce it here. We don't have to wait and buy it from China or somewhere.
So, true, because you cannot just actually do it by yourself, or like the lab itself or any makerspace. Even at home, imagine the next few years from now. Imagine if all houses will have their own 3D printer, will have their own laser cutter, so they don't have to buy things outside, or they don't have to import products from outside if they can actually just build it by themselves, right? So the good
I
thing
like
now
that
is that if you have
idea.
Fab Lab, you have to make you have to acquire the skills on how to use those facilities, acquire those kind of skills of doing a 2D or 3D modeling, and then sooner or later you can just pass that skills to your generation, to the generation, and then if you have the 3D printer, laser cut at home, life will be more fast, convenient, because everything can be done by yourself at home. So you don't have to worry
Wow.
where to buy those things, because you can just build it. Yeah.
This is great news, you know, for the young people who are ambitious and who has a really high imagination, um, and but then they don't have the capacity, they don't have the financial capacity to do it. In the rural areas, do you have like training or do they have access to this kind of opportunities?
Yes, actually, in our situation, actually, most of the Fab Lab are conducting free workshops. Like we allow people to use our facilities for free.
Great, Jerome, you just took us to a whole new world, you know? It's like flying with Aladdin on a magic carpet. Okay. Um, let's go back to Dr. Hernando. Are you there, sis?
Yeah.
Superwoman?
How was your tour, Miss Marie?
Yeah, it was like going
Hello.
to a magic carpet ride in a new
Hi.
world, a whole new world. So much
So
possibility.
learning that they can go to Fab Labs anytime. So is that correct, Jerome? So wherever
Yes.
Fab Labs that may be around the world, should they
Yes.
want to their imagination into reality, they can simply go to Fab Labs and make the magic out of it.
Yes, a Fab Lab in the whole world. We have actually more than 2,000 Fab Labs all over the world. And in the Philippines, there are 30 plus or more Fab Labs in the Philippines. So you can just go to fablab.io and search for Fab Lab that are near to them. You can the
Can
list
you
of the
tell?
Fab
Can you
Labs.
say it again? The website?
Fab
Can you?
Lab,
Uh-huh.
fablab.io. Fablab.io.
Fab Lab. FABLAB
.io.
dot
Yes.
io.
Yeah. You can also
Okay, so
search on
everyone. Okay, go ahead.
you can also search us on Facebook, yeah, FabLab PH. So in FabLab PH, there's a list of all the Fab Labs in the Philippines that you can see also.
One last question. Is
Yes.
there a possibility that you can print? You can make. We can make instant COVID detector. You know, like
Uh,
just like a thermometer. And then
actually there's a possibility. Actually, like the last time we were working with ventilator. I mean, like for the what we call that something like a pump for air pressure.
Mhm.
I forget the technical term. But actually, there is a possibility. All we need to do is to have those kind of people who know how to do it. Like let's say if out there there's like very technical on engineering about that thing or about doing some research, scientists or whoever they are. Of course, there is a possibility as long as we have those technical person or those skills. You know, yeah, it is very possible to develop a lot of things inside the lab.
Great, great. Jerome, thank you so
Miss
much.
Marie,
Yes. Go ahead.
yeah, so we had a good time with Jerome. And I know
Oh,
Jerome
yes.
is not yet closing his room for us. Anytime you can come and visit if there will be new discoveries here. Di ba, Jerome? You are always welcoming us. So for now,
Yes,
we would like to thank you
yes,
so
of
much for
course,
your
will do.
for your generosity.
Jerome,
So
thank
thank
you
you
so much. You have
Yeah,
been
thank you so much for having us also.
inspiring. You have been inspiring not just us, but I think, the young people, the aspiring inventors and scientists, everyone out
Yes.
there who are listening and watching with us
Thanks.
today. It's really amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Okay, so we would like to thank everyone, Miss Marley, for joining us
Yes.
now.
Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Jerome. Bye.
bye.
I'll see you
Bye.
soon.
See
Bye
you next
bye.
time.
Yeah.
Sige. Bye.
And
Judy.
so this has been a
Salamat.
Thank you so
wonderful,
much, Miss Judy.
wonderful evening again with our guests from all over the world and Judy, our main
Yeah.
speaker, and Mary Claire a while ago. So thank you. I'd like to thank, before I forget, Mark and Don Don, our wonderful back end editors. Thank you so much. So Merle and
Right.
Arceli,
And
take it
our
away.
guest. I
Our
it first.
guests
I'll
from
do
all
that.
over
I'll
the
do
world.
that.
Like, look at
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
thank you
Karil
so
has
much
a
for
lot of
joining with
students.
us in this yeah, episode 2. And I hope to
Yeah.
see you in our next journey. So Miss Judy, thank you once again.
Salamat.
And hope
See
all
you
of those who are
hopefully in New
listening are
York or
also
in summer,
learning.
Judy.
Feel free to tell us
Okay.
Thank you, Judy. We
what
will
else would
write
you like
about
to
this.
discuss.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Not yet. Not yet. Before we
Oh, not
close,
yet.
I
Oh,
want
there's
to
Anne. Hi, Anne.
thank IPLC. The whole class. IPLC watching us now, and we have from Australia and Susie Evans, and
Uh-huh.
from Austria, 3 a.m. in the morning. They stayed up just for us, and really appreciate that. Thank you. And one more closing food for the heart from Mother Moon. Okay, I want to say for this week, it says about the mothers. All
Oh.
men come to surrender before their mothers, no matter how powerful a world leader may be, even if he is a fierce as a tiger when he experiences his mother's love, he has to surrender everything and surrender before love. That is why a mother who raises many children naturally has a heart of goodness. A mother's loving heart knows no boundaries. A mother's heart of love is not rigid, but round and limitless and boundless and knows no boundaries. That peacefulness and roundness are even more beautiful than the mothers, that anything in
Thank you.
between. Thank you,
Awesome.
everyone,
Oh, I'd
and
like to say
have
hi.
a
There's
good
we have a
day.
last guest here. There's Anne. Anne
Can we
Beck.
show everyone? I want to
Yeah.
see everyone's
Anne Beck,
faces.
welcome from Forest Hills.
Here, come here.
Also, there is for Judy. Is she still here? Anne Beck is offering to be a network for the bags in New York. Ah, there's
Oh,
already a
wow,
market.
beautiful.
So eventually,
Thank
wave
you.
everyone.
Bye,
Wave everyone.
everyone.
Wave, wave.
Wait, where's our coffee? Coffee, where's our coffee?
Coffee, coffee. Okay.
Coffee.
Free.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. See you next Sunday.
Bye.
Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Sorry. Bye-bye.
Bye.